How do malapropisms happen in our brains? Imagine trying to say a word and accidentally grabbing another that sounds similar but means something totally different. That's what happens with malapropisms. Our brains are busy storing thousands of words, and they don't just remember what words mean. They also remember how words sound and how they are used in sentences. When we want to speak, our brains search for the right word to express our idea. Sometimes, instead of finding the perfect match, the brain pulls up a word that sounds alike but has a different meaning. This is how malapropisms happen. The reason this confusion occurs is because words that sound similar are stored close together in our brain's language network. When we are distracted, tired, or not familiar with some words, our brain might pick the wrong one. During speech, the process of choosing words involves multiple steps. First, we think of what we want to say. Then, we select words that fit that idea. Finally, we put those words into a sentence. Malapropisms usually happen during the second step, when the brain is choosing words. Phonological similarity, which means how words sound, can influence this choice and lead to a funny or confusing mistake. The word malapropism comes from a character named Mrs. Malaprop in a play written in the year 1775. She was famous for mixing up words that sounded similar but had very different meanings. For example, she might say illiterate instead of illustrious, creating humor. The name itself is based on a French phrase meaning ill-suited to the purpose, which fits because these word mix-ups often cause confusion or amusement. Malapropisms are different from other slips of the tongue, like spoonerisms, where sounds within words are swapped, or eggcorns, which are mistaken phrases that still make some sense. For example, saying mute point instead of moot point is a malapropism because mew and moot sound alike but mean different things. These errors show how closely related words are stored in our minds and how phonological similarity can interfere with retrieving the correct word. In everyday conversation, malapropisms can happen naturally without us noticing. Writers and comedians sometimes use them intentionally to make jokes or show a character's personality. But most of the time they occur without meaning to. For example, someone might say, "She is the very pineapple of politeness," instead of pinnacle. The similar sounds of pineapple and pinnacle cause the mistake, which can make others laugh or get confused. Understanding how malapropisms happen helps us see how complex our language system really is. Our brains are constantly balancing meaning, sound, and context when we speak. Small errors like these show how tricky it can be to pick the right words, especially when words sound alike but have different meanings. It's a reminder of how fascinating language processing truly is, and how our minds work behind the scenes to create the words we use every day.